everybody. Hi, everyone. I can't tell you how much I need the company today. My emotions are all over the place. Sadness, joy, excitement, anxiety, all over the place, all over the place. And I have lots to share with you today. I've had a trip to Acorns and Threads. I've had a trip to Monticello, which is a big antique store here in town. I've been making a little bit of headway on a whip. But last night was one of those moments where you just kind of go, what the hey? Come on, enough already. We could hear screaming and crashes and running, and we looked out the window down to the park and we could see people running, and there was a full-blown riot going on. I don't get it. I know when you advertise rage as part of your organization, that is not a protest. I am all about the protest. But it was quite frightening to see that out of control rage and the destruction in the park and the businesses around the park. They didn't do anything to anybody. They're trying to survive this pandemic. This pandemic has closed down downtown. So all the businesses around here are working hard to get their feet back underneath them. They do not need some yahoos running around breaking their windows. That is not making a point. I'm sorry, that's just not making a point. And I'm sorry to rant here right at the beginning. This is all about Stitch Roadies. But I was just floored. I was just floored. And now the media's down there photographing the damage and the destruction, and just keep stitching. Just keep stitching. Yeah. That's what you gotta do. You gotta just keep stitching and put your money where it'll do some good. So today, to pick myself up, I'm drinking watermelon kombucha. I've not been able to find that in Central Oregon. But up here, they still have it in the stores. So I had a wonderful, wonderful day at Acorns and Threads. That, it's always a joy to walk through that door, let me tell you. It's one inspiration after another. But to actually meet up with Stitchy friends that, you don't see on a regular basis was like a gift beyond gifts, and something I so needed. And I'm still celebrating my birthday, although I think I should I don't know. But as soon as I walked through the door, I saw the Satsuma Street. Now, I've seen their charts before and they're all beautiful, but this one, oh yeah, that's my new grandbaby's name. I know it's for zodiac sign, but yeah, no. And I've never stitched on Ada. Janine helped me. She had black Ada in 18 count, and so I am going to give it a shot. Yeah, give it a shot. It's kind of interesting because it's kind of stiff. Are you supposed to do something to it to make it, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of stiff. So I that was just like a given as soon as I walked through the door. But I digress. I had some wonderful, wonderful Stitchy kindness celebrating my birthday. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I mean, LadyRobynS on Floss Tube made me the most adorable card. Of course, I've already put it away because I didn't want it to get damaged. Oh, maybe it's down here. Oh yeah, here it is. I mean, you know, people, stitchers are usually crafters. They're either knitters or card makers or diamond, whatever the diamond painting thing is. But look at this card. Isn't that adorable? Friendship lightens the load. Oh, and I so need my load lightened. Yeah, I so need my load lightened. And Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42, if you follow her on Instagram, she is and Floss Tube, she's a hoot and a half. But I have loved developing a friendship with her because, yeah, our sense of humor, right about there. But she is into journal making and junk journaling. I don't know what you call nothing about what she makes is junky. So, but for some reason they call it junk journaling. But she made these tags for me, and besides the fact that she gave me a gift card to spend at Acorns and Threads, what the hey? Oh yeah, it was gone. In the first 5 minutes it was gone. But look at these tags. It's like, you know you should use them, but you don't want to. You want to preserve them. And look at this one. Look at that. Isn't that a crack up? It's not a crack up, it's absolutely beautiful. And look at, she actually zigzagged on a sewing machine on this paper. And this one, ba-ba boom. Ba-ba boom. Look at that. And then there's these secret things that come out here. I just love that. It's so creative. Yeah. It's amazing. It's just amazing. But on top of that, she had bought a piece of linen, and I was like lusting after the color of it, and she gave me half. I mean, come on. Look at that color. Oh, I've been wanting something like this for Halloween stitching. Yep. That girl's keeping me in trouble. Oh. It was fun seeing Fiona in person. You know, it's kind of like before COVID, you know, AC, BC. Before COVID, after COVID. So BC, we used to like meet up at Acorns and sit shoulder to shoulder, butt to butt, and stitch. The more butts we could fit around that table, the better. And now, AC, we are blessed to be able to meet there to shop in small groups. You have to wear a mask, only 4 people allowed in the shop at any one time. And so you miss those people that you would have stitched with, that you would have had a workshop with. Yeah, but we've been trying to, every month or so, a handful of us meet up at Acorns and Threads, and then we go across the parking lot to Raleigh Hills McMinimans and have lunch. And those moments are cherished. I mean, because you know how precious they are. Because BC, which is, no, AC, BC, it's a band. No, after COVID, those meetups are far and few between. And you don't just, oh, I gotta go meet up with a bunch of friends. No, everything is so planned out. Do you got your hand sanitizer? Do you got your mask? Do you got your gloves? Depending on what level of anxiety you live in, you know, do you have your equipment to move about in the world? Yeah, it's different. But let me show you what Becca from SamBrie Stitches made me. This absolutely awesome little basket. She had heard, I had told her that she had made me a coffee pillow, and then when I did the Stitch With Me with Jen, Stitching in the Bluegrass, the Coffee Obsessed pattern that the last one that I finished, I had decided to make my little kitchen area kind of a coffee decor. Of which one of the things that I need to find out, and I need to contact Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, because she's always talking about cold pressed coffee. I don't know what that is. You know, I sit here every morning and wait for G to bring me my coffee. I have no idea how he makes it or what he does to it. It tastes good, it's coffee, and I didn't have to make it. So, yeah, if I get up at 5 in the morning and I'm sewing, I don't get my coffee till he's got up and he's made me a cup. But I'm very curious about cold pressed coffee because she's always talking about it. Yeah. But back to, I digress. So this basket, Becca from SamBrie Stitch, she had made me a coffee bean pillow that I made into a little vignette on my bar, my counter in the kitchen, and she added 2 more little pillows. Look at that, a cup of coffee and a carafe of coffee. And I can't wait to hang these 2 things up. Isn't that the coolest? And then she gave me a Ray Dunn coffee cup. Oh yeah. You know, I think I'm going to use this to store those instant coffee packets from Starbucks that we use a lot of. And then, I love tiny miniature things. This little cup of coffee, it has mocha, cafe latte, espresso, but it's a candle. Oh, that's so freaking cute. So cute. And in this really neat basket that has a wood handle. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Becca. You know, a person is blessed with good friends that bring you through those dark times of what the heck is going on in the world. Yeah, you can kind of close off the world and remember that there's good people in the world. There really is good people in the world. What else is going on here? Oh, back to haul. So I showed you one of the things I can't show you because I sent a duplicate to a friend and I don't want her to see it till she gets it in the mail. But the other thing well, you guys know because I've said this before, how much I wanted this pattern. Well, they finally got it in at Acorns and Threads, and that's the Fox View, the little stacks by Plum Street. It's so freaking cute, and I saw it done on 40 count. It's like so cute. So I got a piece of Winter Brew R&R linen, and I got all the called for fabrics, and you know, because I'm freaked out about running out of fabric, running out of floss, running out of fabric. Gee, many Christmas. I'm not going to hang them all up for you to see. I'll just put them in there like a big old fat casserole. a big casserole of floss. Oh yeah. Even though I'm doing out 40 count, which makes the thing like minuscule, I bought 2 of each color just in case, because one is freaked out about running out of floss. And as it was, they were out of a couple of colors, so I did the DMC conversion for those, and they were the greens. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yeah. Then in the linen baskets, you know, these 9 by 13 pieces, they're small, and they're only $6.50 a piece, 36 count murky. I mean, cool piece. Cool piece. So I bought a couple of those just to have. Just to have. Well, that was my haul, although I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back because there's something that I need to get. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it is yet, but I need to get it. That sounds a little bit crazy, doesn't it? But today, I was feeling a little bit, you know, hemmed in terms of, there's really not a whole lot opened down here, and you really can't be, you have to be careful at night walking around. You know, we used to walk all around all the time, but now you have to just be a tad more careful. And but it doesn't make me not love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, Portland is a beautiful city, and it is just having horrendous growing pains right now. But this last week, G and I met up outside at a Mexican restaurant near my older son's place, and it was so awesome. It was so awesome to see him and his wife. It was like it's too far and few between for us to see them, because they are working, and neither of them is working at home, you know. And they're night shift workers, you know. So that's the thing, is that it was just so amazing to see them, but also to pick their brains about what's going on in the city, how they're navigating this current environment. You know, it's challenging. It is challenging, but I mean, my sons, they give the best hugs. Oh my gosh, and it was just so good. So good to hug that boy. That man, huh? That man. So where was I? I'm kind of scattered today, aren't I? Am I driving you crazy? I mean, sometimes I get a comment that'll say, you know, you're a little bit much. I get it. I so get it. But let's see, where was I at? Okay, I did all the haul. I did all the Stitchy kindness. Oh my gosh. So today, oh, I know where I was at. I was lamenting the fact that you can't just walk out the door and think you're going to go shopping somewhere. You have to kind of plan it ahead. But I have been wanting to go to my absolutely favorite antique store in Portland. It's called Monticello's, and it's on the other side of the river. So G drove me, and it is filled. It is it's not like one shop. It's like one of those big buildings that's filled with booths, and people own each booth, and they sell and decorate to their style within that booth. And so it's like a collector's Hobby Lobby, maybe. I love it there, and they have different events that, you know, like when they do their Christmas one. Oh my gosh, it's decorated so beautifully, but it takes a while to walk up and down the aisles and look at the individual booths. And so G took me over there, and I wasn't looking for anything in particular, but I did find three things. So I found this old frame that I'm going to use. You probably can't really see it. Yeah, can you see it? It's got little scrolly, you know, little tiny scrolly, and then it's got a little bit of gold leaf and brown. It's just a simple little frame. So I bought that. And then my younger son is an accountant, and I thought this was hysterical. It's a pamphlet. Taxes you must pay from 1944. I thought he'd get a kick out of that. Income tax guide with 750 questions and answers and complete record section which shows at a glance all your tax deduction. Pay as you go tax clearly explained. I just thought it was a hoot. Under the direction of Rodman Madra, former Chief Deputy Collector, U.S. Internal Revenue, New York City. I just thought it was hysterical. So I got that for him. And then the big find of the day was something that was really high up on the shelf, and G came in after a while and said, "Did you find anything?" I said, "Well, I saw this one cabinet, but it's kind of way high up and I can't tell the price of it, and I don't know." He goes, "Let me see it." So then we walk over and we look at it, and he goes, "Wow, the drawers are kind of cool with their curve on them." And I said, "Yeah, well, maybe I'll ask her to look at what the price is, and depending on the price, I'll decide if I want it." Wait till you see it. Is that now what you have to know is that this drawer is curved. It's curved, and that's what G saw, was that it was curved. And then in front here is an open space that you can put like plants or something, but it has this funky mirror back that someone put behind it. I'm going to pop that out and put a sampler back in there. Isn't that not the coolest idea ever? So it's about a 10 or 12 inch, this thing is about 10 or 12 inch, so, and it's a perfect square. So I have to find a really nice, kind of simple sampler that will fit in there. And so I think I need to go back to Acorns and Threads. I think I need to go back there. Yeah, so, oh, you can see my kitchen and G's guitar and chair in the mirror. But I just think that is like, oh, see how it's curved? That is way cool, way cool. Are you ready? Are you ready for how much it cost? $35. No, it was 34 bucks. $34. In fact, when I took it up there, the gal at the counter said, "Wow, this is priced really good." And I said, "I know." So I do have to go back to Acorns and Threads because I don't think I have anything that is a square like that that's charted, and I need to do it because I actually have to make something that will fit in there, and so I do have to go back to Acorns and Threads this week. Yeah, yeah. Wonder what day. Yeah. I am forced to. I am compelled. I am compelled to do it. Oh, and I dropped my chart. So today I'm working on the Suffrage Act. Oh, you know, I bet my chart. This is a stitch along with stitching with the sisterlies, and I'm way far behind, but here's where I am currently. I have a certain reasoning to my stitching, and that is I have heard over and over again that girl's dress, the woman's dress in this particular chart, is like daunting in that it takes so long. So what I'm doing is I'm stitching everything else but her, because then I will be like compelled to get it done, and I won't stop. I won't get bored because I'll want to get it done, because that's all that will be left. Yeah. It's really fun. It's really fun to, you know, and I thought I was going to change it and add some dates to it, but I think I just need to, I think I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to get it done by before Election Day. I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Election Day being done, and this will be another finish, so I'll get to start a new one. Oh, and I have so many new ones that I want to start. I really want to start that Leo one. So how are you guys doing? What are you stitching on? You know, are you, have you still got your stitchy bug going? This week I've been trying to catch up on a little bit of Floss Tubes. That's why I wanted to know about the cold pressed coffee that Erin always is drinking. But I also, Scott Stitches in Spain. He's my kind of stitcher. You know, it's like, people ask you, where'd you get it? You know, all that stuff. I like that he's going, I have no idea. I don't even know what fabric this is. And I started this in 1942. Oh no, he's not that old. He's not that old. No. I'm just being funny. I'm just being funny. But I look forward to my Sunday Floss Tube catch up with Becca from SamBrie Stitches, because she always does this interview with a floss tuber. And this week she did, it was with a woman named Emily, who was quite lovely, and she has an Instagram page, so I started following her on that after I watched Becca's interview. And Becca's interviews kind of opened the whole cross-stitch world up for me, because most of the people she's interviewed I've not come across. I started out watching Floss Tube, only the people that I actually met at Acorns and Threads. But now it's opening up a different world, and I don't know anything about Emily's personal life, but she did talk on the Floss Tube about anxiety, and I have been in the past a long sufferer of anxiety, and it all has to do around my heart. You know, my dad dropped dead at 49, 2 days after his 49th birthday. And I probably told you guys this before. I'm probably repeating myself, but and everyone, when I was growing up, everyone used to tell me I was just like my dad. Well, I definitely had his sense of humor. And so, you know, what does that do? It kind of screws with your head. I mean, I was very heart aware, you know, and thought, well, genetics. I drove my girlfriends crazy my 49th year. And then when I turned 50, I was like, I'm still here. So then I started running marathons and races and you know, doing crazy crap. Because I thought, whoa, I could do all this stuff. But it's kind of interesting how anxiety works, because what I found out is that the blessing for me in COVID, and yes, there is a blessing in COVID someplace, you just have to figure out what that is that one, it like emptied my calendar. My calendar was empty. Two, it clarified what I really loved and what was really important and who was really important. And thus, I've had no anxiety at all during this period of time, which makes me realize that I don't want to go back to my crazy, out of control calendar. You know, I slowly started cleaning it up and figuring out what I really wanted to do, and who I really wanted to connect with, and yeah, it's been eye-opening to me. But I loved how Emily talked about her anxiety, because our world today is filled with anxious moments, isn't it? I mean, between the news, between the expectations of what you should be doing, what you have to do, all the rules, it's, you know, the judgment from different people on how you live your life, what you believe in, what you don't believe in. I mean, there's so much judgment that it's like, wait a minute, I just want to be me, you know? And so I think in some ways, for me anyway, COVID has really allowed me to quiet the voices in my head. Yeah. Okay, I gotta stop here and be quiet because I need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I can go back to talking. Yeah, once I get this done, then I think we're staying a little bit longer in town than we had planned. That is kind of, you know, that's why I travel with extra projects, because you never know. You never want to run out. You want to see anxiety? Get a stitcher who has run out of things to stitch. I can remember one time my youngest son and I were on a train across Europe. You know, it was like, it was this train trip with, you have to, I have to laugh when I think about some of these things. Okay, so my mother, myself, and my younger son decided to travel across Europe on the train without any reservations. 0 reservations. So that meant when we landed in Paris, we got to the train station. Well, no, I take that back. When we landed in Paris at the airport, we went to the information booth and found a hotel, a little bed and breakfast kind of place. And then we took the train to within walking distance of that place, and we stayed in Paris for like maybe 4 days. You know, my younger, we wanted to run the Eiffel Tower, and so, yeah. And so there were things that we wanted to do when we were there. And then when we got back on the train, that's the thing about a Eurail pass, is you buy a Eurail pass and you can get on and off the train in multiple countries as much as you want, as long as you know what you're doing. And so we were traveling all over Europe without any agenda and no itinerary. You know, like the night before we had to get out of town, whatever town we were in, I'd be looking in the train schedule book and saying, well, where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to see? And then I'd look for a train that was going there, and then we'd wait for that train, we'd get on, and when we got to the destination, we'd get off, and in the train station there was always a booth that allowed you to check out in a binder, this is old school, in a binder, different places that you could stay in, you know. And let me tell you, some of the places you wouldn't want to close your eyes when you're sleeping. But we did that all over Europe. But I'm here to tell you, one of the anxiety-producing things, now when you think about that trip, everything sounds anxiety-producing, but it wasn't for us. But the one anxiety-producing part of that trip was finding books written in English. Because once I ran out of, we didn't have iPads. That was when I was, I mean, just to tell you, I think I was in my 40s and 50s. I was in my 50s. Yeah, because there was no laptops. You know, there were internet cafes. In every town there were internet cafes. So my younger son, who went to college here in Portland, he could get to an internet cafe and talk to his friends in the States. So there were no iPhones or iPads or anything like that. So hardcover books, let me tell you, find a bookstore that had books that were printed in English. That was anxiety producing, because after a while it got too heavy to carry books. You couldn't carry books, you know. So when we'd read a book, we'd just leave it wherever we were at, whoever wanted it, you know. So that was the most anxiety producing. Well, there were a couple other things, but that's for a future video. Yeah, there were a couple other anxiety-producing things on that trip. But it was an amazing, amazing adventure. Amazing adventure. Oh, and did I tell you? We only had backpacks. My mother brought along a little carry-on rolling suitcase that my younger son had to drag all over Europe for her, because she was walking with a cane. She was something else, let me tell you. Let me tell you, she was something else. It looks like it's turned into an absolutely lovely day. And I saw, as we came in from the antique store, that the city had a big crane over there in the park to lift up the statues that were toppled. You know, it's kind of sad, that thing. It's kind of sad. That's why we have to keep stitching. We just have to keep stitching. Stitching makes you zen. I will find a chart this week at Acorns and Threads. I will find a chart at Acorns and Threads that fits exactly the back of my cabinet. Will you chant with me? You guys have an awesome day. Have an awesome day. And keep on stitching, because that is the only way we are going to get through this together.